Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Sunday, March 22nd. I want to provide you an update on the new weekly bands and tradable levels for this coming week. This is a pretty nice roadmap for the upcoming week on the futures side of trading with the NQ and the ES. I provide these weekly bands and tradable levels every single Sunday, and the weekly bands prove to be an extremely strong area of support and resistance in the marketplace. I consider it to be unbalanced volume, large amounts of it that usually require three things to break through these bands. One is going to be high impact news. The second could be any type of headlines that might come out, or three, multiple retaps into that same band to finally break through them. And if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that these bands are extremely rock solid. Now, we just went through a contract rollover from the March contract to June. So I have updated, we're going to go through the performance of the bands and the tradable levels from last week's video. And then we are going to map out all of the new bands and tradable levels for this coming week on the new contract, obviously, as well. And a few other things that I want to note. I also provide as a free service a weekly report that comes out every single Sunday that has all of my bands and all of my tradable levels. It's in one email format. You get one email from me per month. So it's I think it's extremely invaluable. There's over 2,000 people on that list. I get constant emails, DMs on how successful traders have been with these weekly bands and tradable levels. Again, with like any system that you have, you just gotta have confidence in mapping them out, seeing how they react. And if you've been doing that for any amount of period of time, you know that these weekly bands and tradable levels are pretty golden in the futures markets. Another thing that I wanted to provide you guys with, not really an update, but just to make sure that you understand the service that I also provide. I do have a signal service. So my signal service has been going since February of 2025. So we're about close to 14 months into the signal service. These signals are provided in real time as the market is obviously developing. Once price action leaves an area, there is three really set of rules that I follow to find my entries, my stop losses, and my take profits. And that those three rules are generally a break of structure, an impulsive move, and no price action not tapping back into the area that we had movement from. And once I filter out those three rules that I have in my trading strategy, I come up with really what I consider to be sniper entries. So you'll get your entry price on the NQ, the ES, and in gold. We haven't been trading gold recently too much just because I know a lot of the traders are kind of limited with the prop firms that they can use in gold. But gold is absolutely killing it as well. But you get the entry, the stop loss, and both take profits in my signals. The signals are provided way in advance of the entry in 95% of the case. There might be a situation where we're in the middle of the trading day, we have a strong price action that makes a move, and I find a signal, I post it. In some instances, very rare, maybe less than 5% of the signals over the last year are not giving you more than a 10-minute head notice of the entry. But this is not a signal service on saying, hey, I'm getting into this trade and everybody's kind of late on it. This is giving you way in advance, majority of the time, hours, if not days in advance of price action coming back into our entry. Historically, since February of last year, my win rate has hovered between the 70 and 80% range on my entries. And I'm talking about extremely tight stops on the NQ. If you visit my Discord or my website, robstrades.com, actually prefer you go to Discord, because on Discord, I've got a performance stats channel that goes through every single signal that I've provided over the last 14 months. So you can see the result of it. Majority of the stop losses on the NQ hover between the 8 and 10 point range, which is pretty small on the NQ. TPs range from 8 to about 16 points, depending again on price action. And in the ES, our stops are generally about 3 to 4 points. TPs are about 3 to 6 points on the take profits. So extremely tight stops. These are very, very accurate sniper entries. So if you are considering joining, there is a link in the description below that will get you linked up. It's $59 a month. I honestly feel like it's an extremely inexpensive and valuable service. There's videos in my portal. In fact, let's just jump into the portal so that you guys can kind of see what it is. We've got different channels here. So we've got open trade signals. These are all of the signals that I currently have out to my members. The completed signals, these are all of the signals over the last 14 months. Every single one is documented with TPs, which TPs were hit, if a stop loss was hit. We obviously have a kind of a chat that we do daily updates on. I've got a whole video series on my strategy. We do signal trade breakdowns. Here are the signal stats. These are all of the stats for the last 14 months. We've got a Q&A session that we do once a month, a live Q&A. And I'll get into the live part a little bit more. Actually, the next channel, this is the live trading room. Every single morning I am live, not only on YouTube, but I'm also live in the Signal Service portal. Less than a 2-second lag on the trading. So we start prior to the market open. So we start at about 8 a.m. Central Time, so about 30 minutes prior to the market open. And we go another 30 to 45 minutes after the YouTube stream is over. We continue to find trades. I answer Watch Me Trade Live and answer member questions. So if anybody has any questions on any of the setups, anything that we traded during the morning, it's a great opportunity for them to ask me questions. And then I've got my levels. So every morning I give my members my reaction bands, my scalping bands that I work off every single morning, and my key levels in the marketplace. For those of you that are on my Discord, you also get the scalping bands and my levels every single morning for free. And you've probably noticed how well those perform in the marketplace. We've got a place here to post your trades, setups that the members have taken. And then I also have a resources page here for all of my indicators, everything that I use on my chart to help me trade. So there's some good resources there. So if you're considering, if you like, what I provide you here with the weekly levels, if you're looking for more for a scalping opportunity every single day, the Signal Service might be a good fit for you. And again, that is $59 a month. So with that being said, let's just review the weekly bands from the 12th. I believe it was the 15th. I'm sorry. So March 15th was when I gave out my my last video. We had a level at the 24,555. That was the first level that I provided. As you can see, price action came dipped into our level here, had a nice reaction, came right back into our weekly band, tried to get through. You could see all of the wicks attempts to the upside, could not break through this weekly band, got a nice rejection from there. Finally, on the multiple retaps, we were able to break through, and we come back down, gave you guys another tradable level. These are all scalpable at the 24,138. Price action came in, tapped into that level, and absolutely exploded for 300 points to the upside. So this kind of explains to you, how my weekly bands perform and how my tradable levels perform as well. And on the ES, so we came out here on the 15th, which is right here. We opened up, dipped into our first weekly band at the 66.23 that I gave you. As you can see, we ripped up to the upside for close to 90 points on the ES. Finally tapped into our tradable level here at the 67.05. You can see the reaction right here. Looks like a small candle. This is a 15-minute candle. This reaction was good for almost 14 points on the ES. Again, we dipped into the weekly band, and what happened? The weekly band repelled. We finally came back again into the weekly band. And remember, guys, this is close to 40 points here to the downside on the weekly band. I mean, on the ES, that's an extremely nice move. So we finally came through, came over the weekly band, dipped back down into the 66.23, and as you can see, price action again repelled it. We did finally break through the weekly band, and that's exactly where we ended off there on the ES. So now let's jump over to some new bands here. Let me just grab this. I put this down here. Sorry about that. And let's start with the ES. Okay, so now we're going to have to kind of map these out. Let me go in here and kind of steal one of these guys. Bring it in over here, paste it, perfect. All right, so the new band, first new band on the ES is going to be at the 68.14 down to the 67.63. Again, that's going to be the 68.14 to the 67.63. So that's where this new weekly band is currently sitting at. Now let's put in our new weekly band below us, which is going to be sitting at the, above us, 70.35 to the 69.95. Again, that's the 70.35 to the 69.95. All right. So that's where this weekly band is currently sitting at. This is above price action. So both of our bands currently are sitting above where price action is currently sitting at. As far as our new tradable levels, we've got a level that is going to be sitting at the 66.50, 66.50. And another tradable level that is going to be sitting at the 67.92, 67.92. Okay, this one is sitting in our new weekly band right here. As you guys know, the levels sitting in the weekly bands extremely strong. I'll give you guys the same disclosure I give on every Sunday. For your first level that's above or below price action, you want to make sure that you wait for the Sunday open. We might gap up above the level, which could very easily happen. We could gap to the downside. If we gap to the downside, we come back up into the 66.50. We're obviously looking to fade that move to the downside. If we hopscotch it and we just jump right over this level when we come back down, you can then actually fade this to the upside because this is a strong unbalanced volume area. And then the 67.92, this would be obviously a shorting opportunity. Typically off of my tradable levels like the 66.50 and the 67.92, you can usually target anywhere from 5 to 10 points on the ES, typically with not much sweat. So now let me go in here and let me just steal one of these bands. I already got a few here, so let me just probably just take this guy. All right, so let's put this one at the 24,469 to the 24,380. $24,469 to the 24,380. Okay, so this one is currently set. There's going to be an adjustment to this band. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I gotta copy this. I was on my. Here we go. Sorry about that. I was on my scalping bands sheet here. So our first band is going to sit at the 25,210 to the 25,150. $25,210 to the 25,150. All right, let's see where we're at. There we go. Let's make sure that this guy is in right. 25,210 to the 25,150. Okay, that's good. Next band, let me just copy this one, clone them. Next band is going to be sitting at the 24,803 to the 24,733. Again, that's going to be at the 24,803 to the 24,733. Okay, that's your second weekly band. Go to our third band here now. 24,617 to the 24,534. Again, that's the 24,617 to the 24,534. Okay, and again, if you're, sometimes the video goes a little quick with all of the bands. If you just go to my site, it's robstrades.com. Right on the home page, you'll get a pop-up that asks for your email and your name. That's just for the weekly bands. It's one email per week. I guarantee you guys will love it. All right, and then let's put in our final band for the week, which is going to be at the 24,469 to the 24,380. Again, that's the 24,469 to the 24,380. All right, so these are going to be all of your weekly bands for this coming week here on the NQ. And then as far as our tradable levels, we've got a tradable level that's going to be sitting at the 24,326. 24,326. We've got another tradable level, that's going to be at the 24,410. 24,410. Okay, both sitting above price action. The 24,410 sitting in this weekly level, super strong. And the third and final tradable level is going to be at the 24,539. 24,539. There you go. So those are your three tradable levels that we have. These are all scalping opportunities on the NQ. You would scalp this from 15 to 30 points on the tradable levels. Obviously, on stronger reaction areas, you might see a huge move from them. But again, these are more scalping. These are more, market hitting a brick wall and repelling from there. So those are your tradable levels for this coming week. Personally, had a very I had a great week of trading live with on YouTube every morning and with my Signal members. Pretty nice profitable week. And this upcoming week, a few things to look out for. On Monday, I'll be giving away a free Lucid eval. Wednesday, I've got a free Lucid eval giveaway, and on Friday, I do my 5% cash profit Friday. 5% of my session profits are given to one of my lucky viewers on YouTube. You just go in, put in the keyword that I provide in the morning, and you'll be entered to win. We've already had 3 winners, and I know that the viewers are loving it. And I'm having a lot of fun with the channel. I'm having a lot of fun with the live streams. If you're interested in my style of trading, which is pretty much only trading with volume, it's a case for come and join me on the live streams. All right, enjoy your weekend and happy trading this week. Take care.